Hello guys, welcome back to another brand new video, and as you've seen from the title, I'm gonna be reacting to the True Horror Stories Part 2. And guys, last video of horror stories, the voice was not working because after I did my software update, Android disabled audio, so I couldn't do anything. I just downloaded it, but now it's the real horror. Let's just start off. Let me just return the McDonald's, the thing all we love. Really appreciate.
McDonald's, one of the world's most famous fast food restaurants. Even though it's not very healthy, it can be very convenient. Since McDonald's is open 24 hours a day. But even in such a fun and friendly place, strange things can happen that even if you tried, you aren't able to forget them. Something like this happened to me. A story so unnerving and terrifying that I'll never forget.
Terrifying by itself.
It happened 3 years ago, when I was 17. I was in desperate need of a job because to complete my education I needed to pay off my college fees. Finally, I got a job in McDonald's. To make my boss happy, I had to work whatever shift he asked me to do, whether it be a night or a day shift, and to work as many hours as he wanted. At this point, I had been working at McDonald's for 3 months, but I had only been working day shifts. One day, my boss called me into his room and told me that because I had been working at McDonald's for months now and gained a lot of experience, I was ready for night shifts. My boss also told me that night shifts can be very quiet and asked me if I had a problem with it. I told him that no, it wouldn't bother me. My boss told me that I would start my night shifts from Saturday. That'd be from 12 o'clock till 5 o'clock. I arrived at McDonald's at 12 o'clock on Saturday. My manager told me that my tasks were to refill the ketchup, mayonnaise, and barbecue sauce bottles, clean the floor, and clean the tables. He gave me a long list of things to do. After telling me everything, the manager went home. McDonald's was fairly quiet that night, but I didn't really notice the silence because I was busy in my work. I needed to do a lot. As I was doing my work, I never really noticed the time, and suddenly it was 2 o'clock. It was a little odd. I noticed that no customers arrived in McDonald's until that time, but I was fine with it. I just wanted to finish my work quickly, since tomorrow I had to report it to the manager. I was arranging coffee cups on the table when I suddenly felt like I was being watched. It was a weird feeling, but I took no notice of it. I told myself that since I had no experience of working late, the weird feeling was because of me staying up. Suddenly, my eyes glanced at the window. When I looked out, I saw a strange black shape,
Black sheep?
like someone was standing right there, staring at me.
Wait.
Saw.
I'm not ready for this. I am not ready. So I better turn the second light on. I am never ready. Never ready to see a black sheep.
A strange black shape, like someone was standing right there, staring at me.
Where is it?
Then I just thought that it must be my imagination. Who would stand outside at this time of night?
Him.
I continued my work and started cleaning the tables. A bit later, My attention went to the window again. Now it seemed that the black shape was closer, but I reassured myself that I was just seeing things. Nothing of that sort was happening. It was due to tiredness. Then I decided not to look outside.
Wait. Guys, can you see his eyes moving? Like, guys, when I go back a little.
A bit later, my attention
Like, more back. His eyes like moved like here a little.
things. Nothing of that sort was happening. It was due to tiredness. Then I decided not to look outside anymore and focus on cleaning the tables. So I continued working. I was busy doing my work when I heard a noise. I immediately looked outside. And when I did, my fears were confirmed. A demon whose eyes were red like blood was staring at me and constantly banging on the window. I couldn't stay there for a minute longer. I immediately hung the closed sign on the front door, got into my car, and ran for my life. I was terrified. I called my manager and told him that due to sickness, I was going home. My manager said that it was fine, I could go. I didn't want to tell him what happened to me that night, because I knew if I did, he wouldn't believe me, and I would seem like a fool. Somehow, I managed to drive home. I felt a sort of safety and relief as I reached home, and decided that night that I would never, ever do a night shift again, even if I have to find another job.
Guys, I'm not gonna lie. This was scary. I will never work. I wanted to, you crushed my dreams. Not really my dreams, but I wanted to try to work at McDonald's. Now I'm going straight to my dreams. Okay, guys, for my second video today, I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna just look. Okay, so guys, I found this. Where did I go? Go! True? No, it's not true.
My name is Justin, and this incident happened with my cousin and I almost a year ago. Last summer, my cousin Martin came to stay with us for a few weeks. The weather was awful, so we were stuck in my room most of the time playing games. It was fun at first, but I soon got fed up with it and wanted to do something outside. I needed to come up with some way to get Martin away from wrecking more of my stuff. We were alone at the house. My parents had gone to stay the weekend by the beach, so I suggested, let's do something outside for a change. But he complained that it's raining outside. But I told him that it's all part of the adventure. Come on, let's go crazy. But he said no again. Then I gave up. All he wanted to do was just sit at home and play games. After a while, the rain stopped. Okay, now can we go outside? I got an idea. Why don't we look through your dad's telescope? I wasn't sure. It was pretty expensive. Besides, it was in his study and I wasn't allowed there. The whole idea was to do something outside. So let's bring the telescope outside. Let's see what we can explore. Nope, my dad's gonna kill me if something happened to it. Relax, I know what I'm doing. I have one at home. I finally agreed because I was desperate to drag him outside the house and told him that we need to be very, very careful with it. In a flash, Martin was briskly walking out the front door with the tripod and telescope over his shoulder, while I raced around the house making sure all the windows and doors were locked. We walked a few miles until we found an open space upon a hilltop. The sky was cloudy, but there was great viewing distance. We set up the telescope and pointed at the clouds. The clouds were moving fast. I told Martin that the sky will clear up soon enough. As I was about to look through the telescope, Martin snatched it from me and pushed me aside. At that point, I was really regretting bringing the telescope. In the lens, Martin saw.
Oh, guys. What just happened? So he saw.
Wall. What's down there? Small cemetery. I don't see a church. Don't they have to have a church nearby? There was one, but it collapsed a few years ago. Martin left the telescope and started sprinting down the hill towards the cemetery. Hey, where are you going? He didn't turn around and instead shouted, Just follow me. But what about the telescope? Oh, man. I lifted the telescope and jogged after Martin. The rain had made the mud slippery, and I feared for my life if I slipped and telescope got damaged. Eventually, I got to the bottom of the hill, but there was no sign of Martin. I walked up to the stone wall and stared into the dark graveyard.
No.
Martin! Martin, where are you? Get lost. Let's go explore inside the graveyard. No, I'm fine here.
No, you're not.
Martin rolled his eyes and left. I was standing alone in the dark. It was very quiet. The only sound I could hear was the stirring of the leaves. When I heard his scream, I left the telescope and ran into the graveyard to search for him. I found Martin standing in front of a small tombstone.
His face.
Are you all right? What? Yeah, I'm fine. But check this out. He pointed at the name on the grave. Alta Loon. I was struggling to catch my breath. You have to be kidding me. Thought something happened. No, but you're here now, aren't you? Martin's attention went back to the grave. What the hell kind of name is that? Martin took a permanent marker out of his pocket. I watched with an open mouth as Martin scribbled huge block letters on the tombstone. Who is Molly? My ex-girlfriend. Oh, that's so disrespectful. What? It's just a stupid grave. I seriously didn't know what to tell him. Oh, let's just go home. It's too late. And in panic, I left the telescope outside the graveyard because of your stupid prank. We were exhausted by the time we reached home and went straight to bed. I fell asleep as soon as I hit the bed.
No, it's a die.
I heard a loud scream and woke up. I got out of bed and ran towards his room. I turned on the light. Martin looked all spooked and sweaty. I asked him what happened. She was in my room. Who? The woman from the grave. I was sure this was one of his pranks and didn't believe him until I saw the marks on his neck. It was bizarre. All I knew that Martin may be a prankster, but he couldn't do that to himself. He stayed up the rest of the night, searching online for how to remove permanent marker stains. Apparently, rubbing alcohol over it removes them. The first thing in the morning, Martin went back to the graveyard and cleaned the tombstone. He paid his respects to the dead women and asked for forgiveness. And since that day, nothing weird happened to him. Hi everyone, hope you all enjoyed the story.
No, I didn't enjoy. I got nightmares. Guys, what is it? 19 minutes watching horror videos? Guys, I'm out. See you guys in another brand new video.